Update. My sister asked to use my beach house for a wedding, then secretly tried to steal it, so I taught her a brutal lesson she'll never forget. Part 2. The wedding was fine, but then came the reception, which took place under a tent on the beach. During her thank you speech, she basically announced to everyone that she and her spouse would be making the beach house their forever home, and that I'd agreed to hand it over. I was stunned. A few guests glanced at me with raised eyebrows. My father's face was stone cold. My mother looked like she wanted to vanish. A couple of uncles just shook their heads, probably guessing there was about to be some big drama. After her speech, folks started coming up and asking if it was true. I told them no, she was making it up. This turned the crowd into a swirl of confusion. People whispered, trying to figure out who was lying. I walked right over to her quietly, so I wouldn't interrupt the music, and asked what she was doing. She basically said, "Don't ruin my day, man. You barely use this place. Just let me have it." I told her she was crossing a line. She called me selfish again and stormed off. The rest of the evening, I hovered near the house, watching to make sure nobody was trying to snoop around. Sure enough, my friend, who I'd hired to keep an eye on things, texted me saying my sister and her fiancé were in my office, rummaging around. I ran in there and found them going through my locked file cabinet. I demanded to know what they were doing. They tried to play it off like they were looking for some sentimental letter from Grandpa. I called him out for lying. The fiancé told me to chill out and stop causing a scene. I told them both to get out before I called the cops. She started crying and said I was ruining her wedding night. I wasn't having it. I told him to leave and locked the office door behind them. Word traveled fast around the party that something had gone down inside the house. Guests sensed the awkward energy. My sister was by the bar, crying and telling people I was a control freak who was obsessed with keeping her from our grandfather's true wish. Some relatives tried to calm her, while others came to me asking for the real story. I was honest. She's been forging documents and pretending I handed over the house to her. I'm done with her nonsense. Eventually, my dad came by and said, "This is nuts, but we can't let them keep doing this. Let's end the party if it escalates." I nodded. My mother hovered nearby, looking upset, probably hoping it would all blow over, but by that point, I was set on shutting this down. I told my sister, right in front of a bunch of folks, that if she kept claiming any right to my property, I'd kick everyone out immediately and talk to the authorities about the forgery. She tried to flip it back on me, saying I was threatening her on her wedding day. I basically told her, "You brought this on yourself. You won't get away with lying about who owns this place." She went quiet. Her new spouse started telling her to let it go for the night and focus on enjoying the reception. She sniffed and stomped off, and the party limped along for another hour or two, but the vibe was terrible. People were dancing awkwardly, or just milling around, clearly feeling weird about the drama. By around 10 p.m. I told the DJ to wrap up. Normally, a wedding reception might go later, but I was over it. I wanted everyone gone. Guests started trickling out, giving me apologetic looks or pats on the shoulder. Some even thanked me for letting them come despite the fiasco. My sister and her spouse were among the last to leave. She glared at me one final time, muttered something I couldn't catch, and then they drove off. I locked up, took a deep breath, and felt a wave of relief. At least the wedding was done. Over the next